Okay, I'm about to help somebody today. And first, let me say, some of you may not agree. That's okay. As long as we can agree to disagree at some time in our life, we're okay. We can be mature and adults about it. But I want to say this to help somebody and to remind somebody of what God has already told you. A lot of you are stuck in situations and you are stuck in places in your life that you don't want to be because you're disobedient and you're disobedient to God. You're stuck in places in your life because you're attached to the wrong people. And I'm going to say that again. You are attached to the wrong people. God has told you to disconnect from those people, and you won't. And that's why you're stuck mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. You're stuck at where you are, and you'll always be stuck just there until you obey God and disconnect from certain people. And I'm going to tell you why you won't disconnect from people that God has already told you to disconnect from. Because you, in your mind, saying, oh, I've been dating this person for 15 years. I've been married to this person for 15 years. I've known this person for 15 years. And when you do that, you think that justifies staying in relationships and being connected to people that God has told you to disconnect from. And that's why you're stuck where you are in life. And you'll always be stuck right there because you're scared to disconnect yourself from people that God has already told you to disconnect from. God has already given you red flags. He's already ministered to this. But you, in your mind, say, this person, because I've known them for so long, they're supposed to love me. They're supposed to treat me this way. They're supposed to, but God has already told you that's not going to happen. So you got your stupid self stuck in situations that you're never going to get out of. Or, I've been knowing this person since I was in kindergarten. But God had already told you to disconnect yourself from that person. And God is not going to release a blessing to you. He's not going to release a miracle to you until you do exactly what he's told you to do 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And that's to disconnect yourself from certain people. And let me tell you this. A lot of you going to stay where you are because he told you to disconnect yourself from some of your family members. And I'm talking about them blood family members that God told you to disconnect from. And this is what you say. Oh, that's my cousin. That's my aunt. That's my uncle. That's my sister. That's my brother. That's my mom and my daddy. So I know that ain't God. But I'm here to tell you that God will clearly tell you to disconnect yourself from some of your blood relatives. Because let me tell you something about family. Your family is whoever you decide you want to be your family. And it has nothing to do with blood, marriage, any of that. You decide who your family is. I had to learn that. I decide who I want my family to be. I decide who I want my company to be. I decide who I want to, let absorb my energy. We get to decide that. But we are connected to people that God don't want us to connect to, so he ain't gonna ever bless you. And then you wonder why you can't go any further in your career. You wonder why you can't go any further in your business. You're connected to the wrong people. And then some of you are so full of jealousy, envy, and strife that God can't bless you. And then when you get a little nugget, you think you're blessed. No, you ain't blessed, baby. God don't give nuggets. God ain't never gave me a nugget. See, I don't get the nugget. I get the whole fillet. And you're going to always be getting them catfish nuggets because you're connected to people that God don't want you connected to. So he can't bless you, because as soon as he bless you and you connected to the wrong people, you're going to bless them. And that's not what God wants. That's like throwing the pearls to the swine. God don't want you to do that. And I used to be that person, so I can talk. I used to be that person connected to the wrong people. Every time I'm blessed, I'm blessing them. And God was like, no, I told you to let that go. Every time I get a blessing, here I am blessing folks. I mean, I'm a blesser. I love to bless people. It does something for me. It has nothing to do with what it do for you. But when I bless, it does something for me. And that's what I like. I like the feeling it gives me to be a blessing. Yeah, you may be blessed too, and you may be blessed by receiving it. But the blessing that I give is for me. It doesn't have anything to do with you. And God knew that about me. He knew that I like to bless, I like to help. But then God started trickling down, giving me them nuggets when I knew I should have been getting fillets. And I had to sit down and I had to analyze. Okay, God, what I'm doing wrong? Because I know I have what it takes. What am I doing wrong? And God kept saying, you need to let this go. Let him, her go. Turn it loose. And as soon as I did, I cried. But as soon as I turned it loose, Money Magnet JB was in full effect because I had to listen to God. And then God started sending me people to replace the people that I disconnected from. He sent me the right people. He sent me people that I could call my family. He sent me people that I love and people that love me. Not because of who I am or what I have. They just love me. And you're connected to people who are jealous of you. They don't really like you, but they're going to stay around for what you can do for them. And I had those very people around me. They didn't really like me, but they stayed around because they knew I was blessed. And they knew that because I was blessed, I was going to bless them. So I'm just going to give you a word of advice, my sister, my brother. When God tell you to disconnect from people, disconnect from them. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're your family, your friend that you've been knowing, they're your sorority sister, your sorority brother. I don't care who they are. If God has told you to disconnect, you better disconnect. And when you do, you'll see the blessings of God overflow in your life. Overflowing and overtake you. Because that's exactly what God did for me. And then now that I'm at the point where I disconnected from the people he told me to disconnect from, I don't even think about it anymore. So I'm just going to leave that with you. Do it. Do it. I'm telling you.